do I have against LLMs that are able to code? Nothing. I don't have anything against LLMs that are able to code. I have nothing against vibe coding, as long as it works. Does it work? Well, no, unfortunately. What did I do? Well, here's what I did. I fired up my Android Studio. That's a software to build mobile applications on Android. And I wanted to do some coding in Android Studio. I'm using a language called C++, and I'm using a particular feature of Android Studio called NDK, which is Native Development Kit. And I wanted to write some code that uses a software library called Vulkan, which is a low-level software library used for interacting and controlling the Android device GPU. So I wanted to see how productive a vibe coding session would bring me. Well, I have bad news to report. If you're looking for some good news, actually, I was actually full of hope because of all this hype from Silicon Valley. What is that hype? It's about LLMs being able to just be able to replace, generative AI being able to replace software engineers and being able to take over and make obsolete highly skilled technical engineers' jobs. But what do we have instead? Well, I found out that this quick vibe coding session, it just reinforced my increasing beliefs that this is not going to happen. So what I did was I just simply asked the LLM, I'm not going to mention it, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to name it. But so what I did was I gave it a simple task. I said, okay, LLM, you are an expert in Vulkan development on Android using the Android NDK development kit. Now, write for me some code that selects the physical GPU and also write some code that goes through all the physical devices that are available and choose which one is suitable. And so here's the first attempt, a screenshot of the first attempt. As you can see, the results were pretty terrible. It couldn't even compile, let alone run. And it was quite frustrating because I was hoping that it would get it right on the first run. Okay, fine. That just took like maybe a minute to get going. So I copied the error message and sent it back to the LLM, and I said, "Hey LLM, here's my error message. Can you please fix the code?" And it went on a lengthy thinking session and came back with some code, which I then ran, and again, lo and behold, it couldn't compile. What? Oh my gosh. Couldn't compile? I'm not surprised at this point. And so I told myself, okay, should I end this or should I continue? And this is not the first time I've tried vibe coding. So I know that when it doesn't work on the second try, we have a problem. And to test my theory, I copied the error message and again passed it to the LLM and said, "Hey LLM, can you please fix this error message?" And lo and behold, here is the third screenshot. As you can see, it still couldn't compile. And I knew at this point it was going to get deeper and deeper and deeper into a digital rabbit hole, which it's just going to be a time sink, a descent into the abyss. So I just threw the entire. Actually, I then told the LLM, "Hey LLM, I'm quite frustrated at this. It doesn't work." You know what it did? It locked me out of the session. It booted me out. I couldn't enter any more input into the system. And so, with a sad heart, being rejected by a chatbot, I decided I'm not gonna, I'm just not gonna tolerate this nonsense. I knew already that LLMs just can't code. That's a myth I want to tear to shreds, destroy completely, step on, and pulverize, because it is true. The narrative that's coming out of Silicon Valley that we are going to see lots of software developers losing their jobs because of AI is a complete and utter false, fake myth. I threw the LLM code away and I started to write my own code, enjoying the facilities of the Android Studio NDK integrated development environment autocomplete facilities, which is a short form for saying there are tools inside which make me a lot more productive than just depending on chatbots that just don't work. Now, this coding session just happened about 20 minutes ago, so I decided to just pick up the camera and just started shooting, just to document this. So I hope this is another data point, a simple data point, a simple exercise, but one that is crucial nonetheless to strike at the heart of the dishonest snake oil narrative that is false, that is pulsating out of Silicon Valley, that AI is going to AGI, ASI, superintelligence, whatever you call it, is coming for humanity and rendering us obsolete and sending us into universal basic income land. Nah, it's false. It's utterly, patently false. And I have the proof to show you. Thank you. And please, if you don't mind, like, subscribe, and comment.